Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. It is always a great day, and we have the iconic Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank in the studio. Been doing amazing things for those folks in San Diego County since 1977. Joining us is CEO Castillo, and joined by the San Diego Food Bank Gala co-chair Amy Jacobs. Casey and Amy, how you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah, great.
Appreciate the invitation. Thank you, Drew.
We can't talk enough about what you guys do. Joined, as always, by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. Kristen is the executive director of San Diego Writers Inc., celebrating their 20th anniversary this year. Yes, a round of applause for Kristen and the team over there. How are things going? Good?
Things are going great, yeah. Just gearing up for that event at the City Heights Annex on the 26th, I want to say, of this month. So. Okay. Women across the generations. So a woman speaking 20s, 40s, 60s, 80s. They'll do some prose, poetry. It's free, so come on out.
And so how people get, you want them to register, so you have an idea of how many people are going to be there?
That would be great, or you can show up. Just come. But come to writeyourstorynow.org, and it'll be on the website.
Is it a Liberty Station?
It's at the City Heights Annex.
So where's that?
It's in City Heights,
at
the City Heights Annex.
Where's that?
It's behind the...
See, Kristen likes to fool our guests. This is why she's a rookie at this. We're trying to get her.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So is it right off in El Cajon, off El Cajon Boulevard at all?
Yes, it's behind the City Heights, the Weingart Library.
Okay.
It's a beautiful center. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's when it gets closer, maybe spend some time promoting that.
That sounds good.
We could. Yeah, I know you have a question for Casey.
I do. I just wondered if we could open it up and learn about the mission of the organization.
Yeah, thank you. As Drew mentioned, established in 1977, so we're approaching 50 years in San Diego County. Our mission is to provide nutritious food, and I would add other resources to that. So provide nutritious food and other resources, advocate for the hungry, and educate the public about hunger-related issues. Our goal is to reach as many food insecure people as possible and provide access to food. That's what we do.
Is that number is growing, is it not? Or is it sort of stabilized?
Unfortunately, it has started to, it is growing. It started growing again during the fall season, right into the holidays, and it's stayed at that high level since then.
Right, exactly. A lot of it, we talked about this before, Casey, and we know this as well as Kristen and Amy. We are not the most inexpensive place to live in this area. A lot of it is driven by folks who have worked their whole lives and now all of a sudden are not working, correct?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we're now the two-time winner last 2 years of the most expensive city in the country to live in.
Right.
And so families are struggling. We're feeding now a little over 400,000 people per month.
Wow.
And most of these individuals and families are working. So they're considered the working poor. They have a full-time or part-time job.
Right. And I think what's interesting about this, Kristen, I'm not sure if we've talked about it before since you've been co-hosting, but, the face of those who are food insecure, like the face of those who are homeless, very different than it was 20, 30 years ago. It looks like us, correct?
Yeah, these are your friends and neighbors and relatives. Again, over 400,000 people. That's a big percentage of the county that we're feeding. So then these kids are going to school with your kids. We had a recent study conducted on our behalf from San Diego State University about a year ago. 73% of the respondents said they had a full-time or part-time job. So they're out there, they're working, they're still struggling to put food on the table, and they're struggling with other basic needs as well.
Right, exactly. You were mentioning before that you do other resources as well. Talk about your Diaper Bank program.
Yeah, so Diaper Bank program established in 2017, 2018. We had amazing support from elected officials, community leaders. Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez really led those efforts. Established the the diaper bank then. We were one of 3 diaper banks in the state of California. Fortunately, that's grown to 8 now. Since inception, we've distributed almost 40 million diapers.
Wow.
9.1 diapers just last year. So it's a big deal. It's a big need. We are worried right now with the state deficit. Those funds are in jeopardy. That program's in jeopardy. Maybe by the end of this fiscal year, so within the next couple months. So we're working really hard to hold on to that. Again, 9.1 million diapers last year. That's a little over 10,000 infants and toddlers every month, almost 8,000 households each month. So there'd be a severe impact to the community and really public health.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Now let's hear a testimonial from Jessica, who is a mother of 2, as she talks about the benefit of the Diaper Bank Program.
We were just one income with my husband, but he doesn't make a whole lot of money. So diapers is just, they're expensive, and with one income, and we're a family of 4, so living here is expensive. We're almost homeless, so we're in an RV right now, in like an RV park. And so we went from living in a house, they sold the house and kind of left us homeless with no where to go, basically. So my husband's family can't help us, my family can't help us. And so it's brought a lot of stress off of us that we don't have to worry about diapers. And it's a need. Like it's not a want, it's a need.
Have you worked at the food bank at all?
I haven't, no.
Yeah. So
I'm sure you'll get me involved by the end of this podcast.
We can do something about that now.
Well, exactly. Matter of fact, Casey's already written down your name, and we expect you to be delivering food
Beautiful.
By 5 o'clock tonight. No, in all seriousness, talk about the volunteers, how important they are to you.
It wouldn't work without volunteers. I'm constantly thanking the community because we wouldn't be able to do what we do without them. 11,000 volunteers last year.
Wow.
Came to both of our warehouses, Miramar and Vista, accounted for nearly 84,000 hours.
Wow.
That's nearly 44 full-time employees. Again, this work would be impossible to do without that amazing support.
Yeah, there's no question. We're chatting with Casey.
And I'm
sorry, go ahead.
sitting next to an amazing volunteer.
Well, we're going to talk about all the volunteer stuff you got lined up for Amy in a few seconds here. We're chatting with Casey Castillo, CEO of the San Diego Food Bank, joined by his colleague, Amy Jacobs. You're going to hear a few minutes from her. She is the co-chair of the San Diego Food Bank Gala. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union and beautiful Mission Fed studios here in Scripps Ranch. And anyone who's worked with Mission Fed knows for more than 6 decades they have been doing just great things for us folk living in San Diego County, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She is the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. So speaking about Amy, you want to take this question?
I do.
You know why you want to take it? You want to be invited to this, but you can only be invited to this gala after you've put in about 1,000 hours.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Start
More dictation from you. It's my favorite at 9 o'clock in the morning.
It's 9:15. Thank you very much.
That's true. It's very true. I'm not even accurate right now. Haven't had too much coffee. But yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this gala and where it is, when it is. So it's the 27th of April.
Yeah, so the gala is this month, Saturday, April 27th. It's going to be at the San Diego Food Bank warehouse, which is pretty incredible. We transformed the parking lot into a beautiful venue for the evening. We have silent and live auction items. We have dancing. We have a dinner. It's a really great event. You do not have to have 10,000 hours of volunteer time in order to attend.
9.
As long as you want to support the food bank. Exactly.
No, it's I've been to it several times. It's an amazing event, and they transformed this place into, are we in San Diego or Oz? It is beautiful what you folks do. A lot of work goes into it, all for a great cause. Music, food, libations, fun stuff.
Yeah, I got more questions. I'm a silent auction junkie. So is there anything that you're, specifically, a really good prize that I should look for?
Gosh, I mean, we're still in the works of putting all our silent auction items together. We have some really great live auction items. We have a trip to Waikiki. We have a trip to a winery in Mexico. The silent auction items, everything's donated. So a lot of really great local organizations, companies, individuals have donated some incredible silent and live auction items. Some of them will be standalone, some of them are packages, and it's our way to kind of give back and support the local community by getting their names out there, because the amount of support that we get from everyone for this event alone is incredible.
Right. So is it sold out yet?
It's not quite sold out.
We're close. Yeah, we're only a few tables away.
I know.
4 or 5 tables. So, I mean, that's probably going to happen within the week.
Right. So in other words, when you are listening to this, I highly suggest you get on the horn and call as soon as possible. It is really a cool event. It's a lot of fun for certainly an amazing cause and so forth in this. Again, food, everything about it is great, great music and so forth. It really is a wonderful deal. And what you guys transform up there is phenomenal. Are you still looking for sponsors?
Absolutely. Yeah. Great. I mean, we have, most of our main sponsors have already been spoken for, but I mean, anyone who wants to support the food bank, we're happy to find a way to work them.
Yeah, and how about live? You still have not live option, but silent option opportunities?
We do. We most of our live auction items have already been secured, and silent auction items. I mean, we often get silent auction items up until the very last minute.
Okay.
And I mean, it just makes for a more fun evening, more things to look for. People love silent auctions.
They do,
and it's such a broad range of items, so it speaks to anyone who comes. It's really fun. We're also we have a wine wall or an alcohol wall where you can pay to pull.
That's great.
A bottle of wine. So we look for wine donations, alcohol donations.
Do you want to tell them what we're bringing back also in the freezer?
Oh, we're bringing back the vodka bar in the freezer, which it's actually in the fridge. Common misconception.
I was in the
that's better for you. I just want to let you know.
Yeah, I was in the vodka bar, and I was amazed that no one locked me in there. But now again, it's great. The gala's on the 27th. From when to when, Amy? What's the time frame?
That's a great question. We start at 6:00 and it goes until they shut us down.
Yeah, basically.
We have to cut the music off. People are dancing, and
Oh,
I think there's a noise ordinance that we have to comply with.
Yeah, but you're sort of in a cool area for that, though.
We're in a great area, industrial area. Yeah, it's pretty quiet out there. Yeah. We raised over $1 million last year.
Congratulations!
Broke a record, and we direct all those funds to our Food for Kids backpack program. And so it was pretty amazing to see the type of support that was out there for this program, the backpack program, feeding elementary age children over the weekend. So yeah, we're excited about this year. We think we can do it again. That's the plan. We were able to bring 500 new students on the program, our largest increase in the history of the program. So 3,000 students to 3,500 in 1 year. So fantastic. That's why we do this gala, and we're really excited.
Well, the tentacles you folks have, we have people on from, Mama's Kitchen or Meals on Wheels or fill in the blank, and a lot of them get their food from you folks and so forth. Talk about that, Casey.
Yeah, you brought up some really great names, and that's one of the favorite things I get to do in my roles, and that's work with amazing community partners.
Right.
We have over 500 nonprofit partners that we work with. They come to our warehouses and they get food, and they take that food back to their neighborhoods, and they feed hundreds of thousands of people every month that way. So yeah, you mentioned Meals on Wheels. We actually just created a new partnership with them a few weeks ago in our efforts, our flood relief efforts. They were helping us with prepared meals. And so again, we get to work with amazing partners that can help us respond to natural disasters, but also help us on a day-to-day feed San Diego County.
When we come back from break, I want to talk a little more about it and talk about how you folks, raise the food, so to speak. You work with businesses that do their own food drives, and I know that was popular when I was at the Union Tribune. We had done that quite a bit, of course, and I want to talk about, the hundreds of folks, businesses, thousands probably, that you work with on this. Maybe think about what our listeners can do to support your efforts. Obviously, donations are important. There's no question about it. Volunteers are important and so forth. But if there's other things that do you need drivers? Do you need whatever the case may be, in that area? We'll talk more about the big gala that you're involved with, Amy, in that aspect of it. And then any other questions that Kristen has. She always has a whole bunch of questions in the second half when we return with Casey Castillo, CEO of the San Diego Food Bank. joined by his colleague, Amy Jacobs, San Diego Food Bank Gala co-chair. That's on April 27. I'm Drew Schlosberg. As you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast. We're now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, doing great things for us folk who live in San Diego County. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, chatting with our friends at the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank. CEO Casey Castillo is joined by the San Diego Food Bank Gala co-chair, Amy Jacobs. That'll be on April the 27th. Do you have a question you want to ask right now, Kristen?
Well, I suppose so, since you turned it over to me.
Yes.
I wanted to get back to the backpack program. I know we talked about that last time. I guess we sort of determined that you were here somewhere in the range of 4 to 6, 9 months ago or something like that. But I remember how great it was. And are you all over San Diego County? Remind me kind of where you're releasing that program.
Yeah, so 3,500 students, 8 schools, and 19 school districts. So yeah, wow. all throughout San Diego County. We were able, because, in large part because of last year's gala, to add 500 students, but also 4 school districts.
Wow.
And so, yes, events like this allow us to grow these amazing programs. So our backpack program, as I mentioned, is for elementary age students. Mm-hmm. Students that their teacher or a school nurse or someone administration identifies as a child not eating over the weekend. We provide a bag of food on Fridays. That administrator can place that bag in the backpack. Those children can take that home over the weekend and have food and come back to school ready to thrive and learn. And then once a month, we do a family pack, which means it's 2 bags of food and other items like rice and beans that the family can prepare together. It's amazing to hear from our teachers and just the schools in general about what this means for the child, for their student, and for the family. Absences decrease, their attention span improves, grades improve, just their overall health improves. And this is one of the programs that we've created to really help. So we feed people, we provide emergency services, but we also think we have a responsibility to be part of the solution to break the cycle of poverty. This is one of those programs that we think helps, right? Mm-hmm. Keep that child learning in school so they can advance themselves and their families.
That's wonderful. And also, we may have talked about this last time, but how do you target the schools that you find? Are you looking specifically for areas where there is a lot of food insecurity? Do they find you? How does that work?
Yes, so absolutely. These are Title I schools. They 80-90% or more of their students on free or reduced breakfast and lunch programs. And then, yes, schools reach out to us. We do have a wait list often. Again, last year, because of the gala, we were able to pull most of those schools off the wait list. And then we'll look at doing that again this year.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, and I think, what happens in that situation when anybody, I've never been food insecure. I'm lucky in that aspect of it. I'm not sure if either you two have ever been in that situation or you, Kristen. But it's, I don't want to say unfathomable. There's 400,000 people that fit into that here in San Diego. But we all have been hungry before, right? Mm-hmm. And just imagine that you don't know where your next meal is coming from. That's just got to be an amazing, amazing stress, especially from a mental aspect, is it not, Casey?
Yeah, I think, you're right. We've all been hungry, but not necessarily all of us have not really known where that next meal is coming from now and tomorrow. And there's a physical impact to that. But to your point, the bigger thing is the psychological impact that has on individuals and families. That's why we're here. That's why we're trying to reach everyone facing food insecurity. That's our major goal. And it's really about health, public health, and the mental well-being of our families here in San Diego County.
Yeah, and listen, and as Kristen knows, we have folks on almost every single week talking about the mental health crisis, certainly in our country, of the world for that matter, impacted by 75,000 different things, food insecurity, social media, go down the list in this area. And we all know, this is why you guys do great stuff with the schools. How can you possibly learn when you're hungry, and the other 85 things that go with it? So I think it's terrific. Do you work with other food banks around the state, Casey?
One of the things I love about food banking is we're all pretty close. Lots of communication occurs, not just statewide, but throughout the country. We like to learn from each other, the things to do and the things maybe not to do. The San Diego Food Bank belongs to California Association of Food Banks. We are a member partner. There are about 50 food banks throughout the state. And collectively, we can advocate and lobby and do things like that. But also, there's a whole lot of best practices involved with that. So we're constantly in communication with the other food banks. Sometimes we swap food depending on availability, and find other ways like that to work with each other.
Right, exactly.
And I would say, with the Diaper Bank especially, so those 8 food banks across the state are working really closely together to bring those funds back. Again, we're responsible for almost 40 million diapers just in the last few years. But imagine multiply that throughout the state of California, and what that means to families with young children. And so, we do work closely. We learn from each other, and we try to support each other in our pretty much collective missions that we're involved in.
Yeah, again, chatting with Casey Castillo. He's the CEO of the San Diego Food Bank, joined by his colleague Amy Jacobs, San Diego Food Bank Gala co-chair. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel, Executive Director of San Diego Writers Inc., celebrating their 20th anniversary. Getting back to the gala, it's going to be on April the 27th. That is a Saturday, correct, Amy?
That's correct.
Right, exactly. I think it starts at 6. If Stephanie was giving us the right hand signals.
Starts at 6.
6 ends whenever Casey decides to turn out the lights, or everything's done from the vodka, freezer or whatever.
That conga line, it just goes and goes. We had to turn the power off during that.
That is so funny. That is so funny. No, it's a great event. And, Amy, how do they sign up for it? I know you have a few tables still left.
Yeah, so we have a few tables left. You can go to sandiegofoodbank.org/gala and click either the Donate Now button, or you can buy tickets on that now. So if you're not able to come or we sell out, which hopefully we do, you can still go on and support in that regard. And with respect to the backpack program, it costs the San Diego Food Bank $300 to provide a backpack for one kid for a school year.
Wow.
So there's certain things we have, like we have a VIP bar ahead of time that you can pay to upgrade your ticket. It's $300. So you're supporting one child with a backpack for the school year just with that one thing. It's a very tangible item. So if you're looking to make a donation, that's a great number.
Right. No, it's huge. And I think one of the things that's always been great about, what you folks have done, Casey and Amy, you can add to this too, is you talked about the tangibility about this aspect of it. You can say, it used to be back in the day, maybe it's changed, for $1, 5 meals would go out. Is that changed now? Is it now $1 does 2 meals or 1.5, or because of costs going up?
That has changed. Inflation impacts everyone, including food banks. Yeah. So, but we still are able to leverage it pretty far. Yeah. So for every dollar given to us, we can provide 2 meals, which is pretty amazing. We're able to do that because of the amazing donations we receive.
Right.
We just talked about the California Association Food Bank.
Right.
There's a program to buy produce through them where we buy millions of pounds of produce each year. It costs 16 cents a pound. We can leverage our buying power. We can leverage the partners that we have. And that's how we're able to provide 2 meals for every dollar we receive.
Right. Is there a change? And I'm not sure if we ever talked about this before, Casey, or maybe it was in previous interviews I had with the food bank, where there was grocery stores or whomever, restaurants throw out a ton of food. Now, there's health reasons, obviously, but has there been any change in laws to say, well, this food can be used, whether it's grocery stores, having to, dump it, or restaurants, whatever the case may be, or am I just imagining this stuff?
No, you're right on. Yeah. New law, AB 1383, started a few years ago. This January kicked into Tier 2, which brings in larger restaurants. So before that was large grocery partners. Now it's large restaurants, I think 250 seats and above, something like that. And so, we're taking on those more and more partners every day now. And so, if you're a large restaurant, any food provider like that, and need to comply with the law, call the San Diego Food Bank. We're a resource for you. We're here to help. And the program that we have will connect those restaurants or other partners to other organizations, feeding organizations that are prepared to get that food out into the community.
Right. Now, in that case, do people come to the restaurants and pick it up, or do you pick it up and drive it to your warehouses, or maybe a hybrid of both?
It's a hybrid. Mostly, though, those nonprofit partners, again, those hunger relief organizations, are going to the restaurant or grocery stores to pick that food up.
Right, exactly. Getting back to the gala, Amy, who's your co-chair?
My co-chair is Jeannie.
Okay.
And Jeannie's been the co-chair for a couple of years now. Yeah. And she's great. She's brings a wealth of information, some really great contacts within San Diego to bring in more community partners to support us.
No, that's great. How many of these galas have you gone to?
This will be my second one. I was on the committee last year, and then I signed up to be the co-chair this year.
Now she's in charge.
Right. I was going to say, everyone take a step forward, and everyone goes backwards. Wait a second here. I didn't think
she did not know what she's getting into. You know what's awesome about Amy, and maybe part of her inspiration here is her mother, who was associated with food banks for quite some time in Canada. Mm-hmm. And you want to talk a little bit about that and her...
Yeah, so I grew up in Canada. I moved here about 14 years ago, and my mom was actually she worked at the Edmonton, Alberta Food Bank back home when I was quite a bit younger, and she ran the volunteer services. So she coordinated all the volunteers at the Edmonton Food Bank. So
my mom is a Canuck. She grew up in Regina, Saskatchewan, and lived in Flin Flon and Manitoba, and you know all those places.
Yes, I do.
Those one-horse towns and all that. But my mom passed away several years ago, so I love the Canucks and love everything about Canada. We'll be in Banff Springs later this summer.
Will you?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's great. And so... And you came out here, so that was your inspiration on that food bank up in Edmonton.
Yeah, I came out here and I wanted to get involved with the food bank here, so I contacted Casey and he gave my mom and I a tour of the Miramar facility, and I was kind of hooked. I was very excited to learn about their composter, and that sort of drew me in.
Well, you've
as composters do.
It's pretty incredible.
No, they are actually very, very cool.
I love that. Yeah. Well, I was nervous. Her mom, knew food banking. I wanted to make she had some things to say about, what we were doing, what we could be doing. I appreciated that feedback.
Yeah, I don't hear your oot and a boot in your accent. So did you lose it, or?
I don't think I ever really had it. My dad's English, and I grew up in a relatively big city. I hear that a lot.
What is the last letter of the alphabet?
It's Z.
Thank you very much. Just had to throw that out there. This is a true Canadian in that aspect of it.
Glad we cleared that up.
Kristen, any other questions you have for Casey?
Yeah, well, I want to know about the gala, of course. Are the tickets tiered? Like, how much is it to be at a table, let's say?
Yeah, so you can buy an individual ticket. There aren't quite as many of those available. Generally, we're selling tickets for a table as a whole.
Okay.
But you can certainly buy an individual ticket. I believe they start at...
It's on the website.
It's on the website. Thank you.
Well, we increase prices this year, so...
Yeah.
Yes, there are more kids to feed, so we increase prices.
Of course.
Fair enough.
And there are a few tickets left, but as we had mentioned, they're really getting close to selling out. So oftentimes this event sells out before our actual invitations even go out.
Wow.
We save the dates go out and the website's up, and the San Diego partners are really, really supportive. So it's a great problem to have.
Yeah. Better get your table, Drew.
Yeah. Like I said, it's been a great event. Been there before. I think one thing that's interesting as well, and in case you might have even chatted about this the last time you were on, you have certain things around the year. Obviously, we see a lot of charity donations coming in, probably in mid-November, last of the first week of January. Hunger doesn't know a date. Homelessness doesn't know a date. July 15 is no different than March 26th or, October 3rd. People got to be thinking about this year-round.
You're absolutely right. We do get most of our donations during the holiday season, right? October, November, and December.
That's right.
And then that financial support drops off, but the need is still there. In fact, many of our programs, and I mentioned this earlier, the numbers started to climb in the fall throughout the holidays. We have a client choice pantry in Vista, which it's a mini grocery store, essentially. People, individuals and households come and shop there for food, for things that meet their family's need. We had the most households shop there last month, and in the history of that client choice pantry of the last 2 years, 31 households. That's over 7,000 people. So at the client choice pantry, along with a number of other programs, we have seen continue to climb. And you're right. That's why we generate other campaigns throughout the year. Right. Certainly the gala in April, but this summer we're going to have our Schools Out, Hunger's Not campaign back. So look out for that during the summer months. But again, that's to help with the food donations, but also monetary donations.
So let's, obviously, we love having you folks on minimum once a quarter. We'll talk about that summer program as well. We'll get you back on. Let's tee that up.
We'd love that.
As well. And then maybe think about a family or that has benefited from what you folks have done, or certainly highlight a volunteer, certainly highlighting Amy and whatever, but maybe Joe Blow has volunteered for 25 years, whatever the case may be.
I love Joe's work.
Yeah. Mr. Blow does a nice job.
He does a really good job.
That's right. But no, seriously, there's a lot of people that have been working with you guys, maybe since the inception. Who knows? Wouldn't surprise me.
We'll bring Paul. We call him the mayor.
Beautiful.
And
Please
Paul actually is not only a volunteer we see most days at the food bank, but he also helps with our events. In fact, he's the one who inventories all of our alcohol and really helps us with our wine wall for the gala. Beautiful. And so, Paul, that would be great. He's been a long-time volunteer. I think it'd be really fun to have him on.
Consider it done. Amy, why don't you shout out the website one more time for the gala?
Yeah, it's sandiegofoodbank.org/gala.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Casey, it's always a pleasure having you on. Thanks for bringing Amy. This is such an important topic. We love having you back on. Looking forward to getting Paul on with you in the summer as well. Any final comments?
I always like to thank the community. Again, this doesn't work without community support. Those individuals, families, corporations, foundations, amazing volunteers, and then for those that are facing food insecurity, give us a call. Visit our website at sandiegofoodbank.org. Click on the tab "Get Food." Type in your zip code, and it'll let you know where the closest outlet is for you to receive food. We're here to help.
That sounds great. Well, always enjoy the conversation. Casey Castillo, CEO of the San Diego Food Bank, joined by Amy Jacobs. He's the San Diego Food Bank Gala co-chair. My co-host, Kristen Fogel, executive director of the San Diego Writers Inc. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of the Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast. We're now in our 18th year, brought to you by the very cool folks at Mission Fed Credit Union for more than 6 decades, doing great things. Many of us have been touched by their philanthropy in San Diego County. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.